Well, folks, right there, number 200, that is Jake Kaufman. He's going to be riding my vintage GoPro, and he was an excellent one to strap it to. I try to pass it around wherever I can. That's him on the starting line right there, getting ready to launch toward the rest of them guys that are in his class. I think he said he had 3 or 4 of them in there. That'd probably be the whole line. And he gets a pretty good start. Comes out. Well, I take that back. He's in almost dead last. Here's what it looked like from his point of view. Now, he strapped this on my chest. On his chest, I should say. Waiting for the 10 seconds. There it goes. How did them guys beat him? That's what I want to know. How did they beat him? Because, I mean, Jake, I think you need to work on your reaction time there a little bit. The bike fired up, and you were not letting that clutch go fast enough. Them guys totally blew you off the line. You got to work on that at home. Get better at it. Just stopwatch out or whatever you got to do. Now, I was talking to him a little bit about this race, and he was hoping to be able to apply a little pressure and hopefully make a mistake with the name of the game. If they made a mistake, he'd be able to capitalize on it. If not, he was going to try to get him with raw speed and not let him get out of sight. And on these old vintage bikes, that's a 74 Husky 250, and he's got this thing. You need to go around and check it out. It's just a really nice piece of vintage machinery. Great bike. Now, one thing you'll notice in between his footage and the footage that I have coming up of the post-vintage race that I raced, is that you'll see, being on the chest, you get a lot more looking at the bars and stuff like that, and when he stands up, it might look down a little bit, whereas I wear mine on the chin of my helmet. Either way is a bad way. You don't have to worry about the limbs or anything. The worst place to run these in the woods is on top of your head. You can get whiplash from catching a branch or something like that. But when you run down on your chin or on your chest like this, get great footage. There's that fellow there. Now everybody's in front of him. It is a stinking freight train around here. Now, we're not going to get the whole first lap, but we're going to get a good portion of this race up until he washes out and then the GoPro gets broke. I shouldn't say the GoPro gets broke, but the mount gets broke. And no fault of his own. It's been around for quite a while. But this is some really good racing. And you can just see how hard these guys want it. Now, this is Sunday's race. This is going to be a good portion of how it went for him. And I rode a little bit of this trying to get some footage of the kids' race. My bike was leaking gas, and I didn't have a chance to get it fixed in time to make it out for Sunday's race. So, next best thing is strap this thing on Jake and let him go rip. He wasn't kidding. He said it was hot and heavy out through here. Where did that guy go that was in front of Jake just a second ago that made the pass on him that came from last place? He passed both those guys that are in front of him already. They had to have been on that road. As you can tell by the sunshine filtering through the leaves there, it was a gorgeous day. 2 gorgeous days. This is a whole weekend up here. You have Saturday's race and Sunday's race, all cross country, no motocross. And this is the kind of action you're going to get into when you show up at Evansburg, Pennsylvania to race this. It's good stuff. Hey, what? Kind of tight to try to pull the trigger. Oh, there's that fella up there. I see him now. He did get around him, though. I don't think Jake's putting any pressure on these boys at all. They just, well, we got a 2-for going on. 2 for 1. Back into it. Hot and heavy. Can he catch that other guy? That is the big question everybody wants to know, Jake. And that old, I think it was old Honda. Can you catch that big old Honda up there? Looked like it could have been a 4-stroke. The speed is dramatically increased here, I will say that. I'm going to say that fell up front that got the good start holding people up. I can tell you're standing up on the bars. When you sit back down, I get some better footage. Sitting back down, getting into this turn. There's a lot of turns in through these fields here. Let's just see what you can do. You guys are really screaming through this field section. Looking good. This is going to make my footage look so slow. I hate to say it, but man, you're flying out through here. Oh, no. Oh, my God, did you see that death wobble? He kept it alive, but that fella in front has got a brown streak up his back right now. Oh, that was vicious. These guys are breaking the trail in just right. And that is where she's going to end, folks. There goes Kevin Marshall, and he said that he used him as a rabbit and did a great job, as always. Well, folks, as you all may know by now, when you come up to Coyote Run, it is a mix of fellowship and good food. They have a giant picnic with. If you go away hungry, there's something wrong with you. Just look at all that food. These are the Powderpuff girls that went out and raced the Powderpuff race. These are for the girls that aren't very experienced. We've had as high as 20-something here before, and for whatever reason, we only had 4. And they all were great sports about it, and I think they picked 4 good ones. And my wife is included. That is her right there going by on my old Honda. Trying to do her best. You're doing great. And that's all these girls were out here doing, just having a good time, doing their best. Not overly competitive, but small little motocross course here at Dave's house. They got set up, and every year they snake their way through it and she'll never make the pass. Try to get around each other. They do a good job. Here comes Jordan on her little PW50. I don't know if she stalled. She wasn't going to do it. And then right at the last minute or two, she decided, hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go try it. All I have is this little PW50, but I'm going to do it. Kudos to her. She did great.
Twist that throttle.
And there is her son, Jack. one of the twins. And I think Bean stalled the bike out there once or twice and ended up, she got third place. I think Jordan got fourth. And I apologize for not getting the first two girls' names. I should have got it, especially the winner. And they all got nice little gift card packages and stuff at the end, and it was really nice. That the girls really appreciated it. Well,
good job, baby.
That's about it for the Powderpuff there, folks.
Way to go! Woo!
Well, if you're standing around any of the motocross tabletops, you might have seen me down there taking a few snapshots. And I was videoing the guys. Had no rhyme or reason to why I was there or what races I did. But these are definitely the vintage guys. Showing you how to do it old school. And in some of the slideshows, I'm sure you've seen some of the dual disc and post vintage guys as well. Try to keep the video down a little bit, but so here's one of the starts. I got a question for you all. Do you like the front starts, like when you're standing in front and you're videoing like this? I mean, it kind of gives you a good idea who got the whole shot and everything. And we'll go through all the lines here, and you can watch the good vintage start. And I did something a little bit different. It's coming up on the next set of starts, and I want you to tell me, which way do you prefer? I actually think I like the version coming up better. It's where I stand beside the line as they're taking off and just move back with my camera. I think that looks better myself. It gives a more close-up of the guys, and you can still see who got a whole shot or whose bike started up first, that's for sure. All right. Now I got Mike Blackwell, the only one in Double A in the post vintage here. Just waiting to start this old IT up and get her rolling. She's gone. We're going to slide back to the next line. These are going to be the expert riders. Big line of them. I just prefer this. You'll probably see me doing this more often. I think this is a better way to show the starts. I like this better. More up close and personal with the people out there running. And look at all those ITs. Holy smokes. Gotta be one of the most favorite bikes out there to run. Blue and red. Hondas and ITs. So coming up is going to be the post-vintage race that I did on Saturday on my new XR200 I bought. New to me, that is. It's a 99 XR200R, and definitely working the bugs out of it. It had a lot of problems when I got it, but seems to be a pretty good running machine, and we'll see it coming up here right about now. See you later, Bob. You guys are all fresh. Yeah. And they're off. All right. Don't hurt me too bad out here. I'm still getting used to this bike. I think I'm going to change them hand guards. I don't like them. I got a fuel leak. Kept me from racing on Sunday. This bike usually starts on the first kick. And for whatever reason, you'll see, it does not. It takes like the third kick for some reason, and it never does that. But I went over this thing. This fella up in front of me here, the dust is kicked up pretty hard. He wants me around him. He must not know how I ride. I am not a great woods rider. I do my best, but I enjoy racing up here. And I got Jim Laird up in front of me. He's on an old XR200 as well. And I got Christian Broomball and an IT up there in front of him. Both those guys I've raced before. And I'm okay with them as far as the race goes. As long as I can hang with these two, I know they're gonna pull me along and make my lap times go down. That's all I'm looking for. So I'm just trying to catch Jim, see if I can put a little heat on them. I don't really want to pass them because I know they're decent enough that I can run behind them. And if I'm out front, I'm going to make mistake after mistake after mistake, and it's just better for me to get with one of the faster guys right now in the woods and try this bike out. As you can tell, I'm catching Jim a little bit, and he's hot on Christian's tailpipe there. We're snaking back out toward the campers. This is a very familiar section. A lot of new stuff was put into the track. I really enjoyed all the new cut stuff that they had, because a lot of times up here, it's a lot of the old stuff. Now this is part of the old track right here, but it doesn't take long, and they're right into some new single track, and Dave and his gang did a great job of getting this ready. I had no problem with the arrows. I knew exactly where I was going. I might not follow them the best because I can't keep my head up fast enough. But yeah, this is the post-vintage race on Saturday. Now Jim has gotten around Christian. I cut out a little bit of the field section there. That poor fellow there trying to get an old husky running. And I'm catching him. Jim has just been on fire this year. You've heard me say that throughout the videos this year. And I'm catching Christian, and I'll bet you that Christian ran the vintage race. Oh, he did. He had the old MX360 out there running. So this is his second race of the day. So you know he's a little bit tired. I'm out here fresh. You think I'd be able to catch him, pass him, and put him in the dust and try to catch Jim, but no. We're doing all right, though. Like I said, some of the things I like about this XR200, number one, it sits a lot lower. On my KTM in the woods, I feel like I'm way too tall. I love that bike for motocross, but for in the woods, I'm just looking for something that sits a little lower. And I think this bike's going to fit the bill. But the suspension is very soft. And it's not bad, but the rear, literally a pogo stick. It's got the old yellow spring rear mono in it. They're not rebuildable. So there's a couple of other ones that guys use that I'm going to use that oil filled and everything that I can use for some dampening. Try to keep that rear tire planted on the ground a little bit better. Now this turn right here, the first lap kind of snuck up on me a little bit. After that, I was ready for it. Knew when I crossed the road second time, I was gonna have to start looking for that hairpin. So I wasn't like looking for brakes that I didn't have. That's the other thing about this old XR. It has some brand new brakes on the drums, but yeah, they're something else to get used to. They're nowhere near a disc brake. As they shouldn't be. Now this is one of the tighter sections coming out through here. If there's one thing Mr. Cuskill is known for, Dave and the gang, they like a tight section or two, which ain't too bad. It really wasn't bad at all out through here. Just one little section I think there was. Christian is holding a great pace here. Finally pull in the clutch, yank the bars up, and get out across that crick. A little bit of a wheelie. That was the one and only time that I was able to pull that off. I set the front end down into the crick. I pulled it up too early, or it just nothing happened whenever I tried it. But I'll work on that. That's some of the skill sets that I need to get better at. That's for sure. Now this course did have a lot of elevation change, and I don't mean big elevation change. I mean a lot of like whoops type sections that were naturally into the course. Up and down. You can't really see it in the video very well, but when you're crossing over different sections and stuff, it goes up and down really a lot, and so it made it tough. Especially if your suspension was set up like mine, super soft. Yeah, the vintage guys have this broke in really well. All the stumps are painted orange. Did a great job. I'm still following Christian here. I can't seem to get much closer than where I'm at. I do remember getting closer here. We'll see how it goes. Going out through this fella's yard, and we're gonna go around a couple of these old cars, and I know we're gonna head down toward the creek, and it doesn't get good down there if I remember right. I wish I had half of Christian's stamina. I wish I could do 2 races as far as that goes. I'm just so dead tired by the time I get done doing 2 of these. It's not worth it for me to even try. Now, some of my philosophy on this woods racing is to hang with whoever you can hang with for as long as you can. Someone comes up on you hot and heavy, you let them around. That's your next tow rope. Grab a hold of them, hold on to them for as long as you can. And just keep doing that until get to the end of the race. You don't hold anybody up. You might learn some things following some new guys. I guess one of my biggest fears out here is when I'm running in the woods is what's around the next corner, and am I prepared for it yet? Because I just don't feel like my reaction times are as good as they need to be. Whenever you come up on new, and I don't know how the guys do it. It's got to be just a reaction time kind of thing. I'll tell you what, no sign of dust in these woods whatsoever. As dry as it's been, we haven't had any rain for 2-3 weeks to speak of. A little bit of, here's that creek I was telling you about. And I'm thinking everything's good. Oh man. Couple of guys right behind me there, they get by. She starts right back up, but I was so frustrated. Come down around that turn like that, and yeah, Christian's gone. Jim Laird's gone. Let's see who else we can find here. Now I start seeing some people. I know I got to be getting closer up to the section. Right here. Damn! That was a nice drop off that tree. And I didn't have enough time to hurry up and get that. And then I come back onto the course here. There's Dave Cuskill. Gonna let him by. Them guys are gonna let me underneath the rope. And I'm gonna hang on to Dave for as long as I can here. Heck, he ought to know this course like the back of his hand, and I'm sure he does. As you can tell, it's not going to be a very long course, or a very, very long time before he's gone. He's checking out on me. But I'm pretty sure we can check out some other riders that are coming up that I'm going to tow on to. One of them you'll recognize, 100%. It just sounds like my old Honda is not doing anything. It takes me time to get used to this old 4-stroke, that's for sure. The sounds are not the same as staying up on the pipe with the 2-stroke. There goes old Josh Fetzer. I'm pretty sure that's him. Got somebody else screaming down my neck, and there she is, Kelly Ashcraft. That girl is one of the best female riders out here that we got going on, and when I saw her purple jersey, I knew exactly who it was. And I know that I cannot keep up with her, but I'll do it for as long as I possibly can, and I did longer than I thought I would, that's for sure. If I catch her over at her dad's house riding, it's a fleeting glimpse of when I see her till she's gone, because she knows those trails like the back of her hand, and it's everything I can do, but she's definitely increasing my speed and bringing my lap times down, so she's got that IT just ripping. I'm not sure if that's the same one that Mike took off with on Sunday there or not. Couple little motocross jumps up through here. You know you're getting closer to the scoring station whenever you hit these suckers. But this is a good time out through here for darn sure. Well, folks, I'll tell you what you got in store for you is I think there's some dual disc starts coming up. And at the very end of this video is a nice little surprise from some of the campers that we had camping with us. Now it'd be Hannah Kaufman. giving her Savannah Banana dance. She was doing that all weekend, and it was a good time. All right, until the next video, which is going to be a new track out east somewhere. Never been there before. Looking forward to it. Josh Ducker and the bunch are out there getting things ready, and I hope to see y'all there. We're all going to make the trip from here, so talk to y'all a little bit later. You guys have a good day.
Watch out, watch out. Hey, back up or go that way.